Welcome back, everyone, to another session with the Second Chances. It's a brand new year. We've had a month off, but we are back. And as always, I'm going to start with our thank yous. The first thank you, of course, goes out to Critical Role, whose wonderful world of Exandria we'll be playing in, as well as to all the artists whose music we use here on the channel. Reliquary Records, Dungeon Glitch, Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, and Borislav Slavov. Make sure you go and check all of them out on whatever streaming platform you listen to. Or say. Last time we left the Second Chances, they had just made their way across the Menagerie Coast, meeting all sorts of allies, undergoing all sorts of heroics, and ultimately putting an end to the kidnapping ring that was seeing Aormatons taken from all over the coast, and shuttled off to Leaf's old home, where a mad wannabe political figure and tinkerer by the name of Alexander Donoso had taken up the work that Leaf's creator and mother, Dr. Fernelius, had started, but in a more evil and perverted fashion, trying to create sentient life without free will. They were able to defeat Donoso, and in the process of doing so, found out that he had taken and twisted Dr. Fernelius using experiments and trying to turn her into one of his creations. They fought against her and ultimately were able to defeat Donoso, but not before he was able to enact a self-destruct mode within Dr. Fernelius. Following the aftermath, Zelus had a heart-to-heart with Corey, quoting View the Second, a great philosopher of the Exandrian times, on what it means to find meaning in your life, what it means to be a person. He declared that Leaf died that same day that Dr. Fernelius did, and that Zelus was born in his place. So we're going to go ahead and jump back in following that day. We'll keep someone up to watch over the night. But everyone eventually does find their way to some sort of rest, whether it's restful or waking. Regardless, you do all get a full rest, so you can go ahead and mark there that full rest was complete. But with Donoso, the mad tinkerer, slain, his work destroyed, and the ruins of Dr. Fernelius' lab in shambles, the Second Chances and the newly realized and awakened Zelus begin to process what comes next. While they do, their presence and actions within and across the Menagerie Coast and beyond ripple outwards. What all of you don't see happen is the captain of the Guardian Zelezo, Spider Maximilian, and the proprietor of the Purple Chamber, Arius Albert, visiting the grave of an Aormaton. Dear friend to both, they lay flowers at a grave without a body, and Spider speaks. Promised I wouldn't let anyone else get hurt the way you did. Promised I'd make sure whoever was behind it was stopped. Sorry I was only able to keep one of those. The faraway lands of Isildra near the ancient city of Vasselheim. The floating Eladrin city of Venenthia hangs above the ocean. A raw, untamed energy flowing and crackling among the unique broomstone that comprises most of the city's base. That wild magic slowly begins to dissipate. The city starts to settle on the coast of Isildra. In Nicodranus, Ferndala's snow sail, her dwarven friend Wilpert shyly enter an empty auditorium. She can see how he shakes, wishing for nothing more than to go back home. But he really wanted to hear her perform. He promised to try and to give her a chance to sing between those tall, open walls once more, even if no one else was there to witness it. In the faraway lands of Teldore, following a meeting of the Teldore Council, Lady Vexalia de Rolo sits with an older human woman in blue, with blonde hair, aging gracefully to a platinum white. The former Vox Machina heroine talks about a curious troupe of adventurers she met weeks ago in Port Zoom. Far, far to the north of Wildmount, 4 pallid elves are set to leave by Tile with a small caravan of traders, mostly elves, but they're stopped by a contingent of Righteous Brand soldiers. By order of His Majesty, King Bertrand Dwendal, no one shall leave or enter by Tile without the express permission and authorization of Starosta Uther Prent. Further south in the Empire, a fawn, the daughter of a farmer, neglects her duties sitting beneath a large oak tree. A wood knife in her hand, tree shavings on the ground, she admires her handiwork in the bark of a tree. C+F in an oddly shapen heart. And finally, in Eor's recollection, far away from the sounds of the waves crashing in the cove, Amu, Thavex, and 2 Eormatons stand near a tree. One of them speaks with a soft inflections and tones of sincerity that they seem unused to hearing. Thank you, Doctor, for agreeing to come. I can't explain why, but I feel like you're going to be needed? He answers, there's no need to explain. Emotions are often something that can't quite be put into words, despite how many we have access to and how often we feel them. Amu opens a portal in the tree's bark. We step through. So as all of you awaken, day after the encounter, Dr. Fernelius meeting Denozo, what would you like to do?
Oh.
Well, we think we need to figure out what we're doing now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Maeve, I know we need to get up to your people as quickly as possible, but I think we all need to at least take a day here and recover. We've been on the move pretty much constantly since... How long have we been here now?
Been where?
I don't know. When did we meet each other again? Has it been 3 months?
How long have you all been together? It is the beginning of Quen Pilar. It is Quen Pilar the Third. You got together at the end of Undalar, so let's see, Silder, Sidon Star, Besseron.
Stop making up words.
So it's a little over 3 months.
Yeah, a little over a season.
Yep.
About 40 yalms.
That's distance.
Yeah.
And not a lot of distances.
Zelus, are you, do you have any particular rites that you want performed for the doctor?
You hear
I'm not
echoing down the hall as Zelus ponders on that question. Zana's voice coming from the entrance. We've got visitors!
Roz goes, oh god. All right. Grab sword and shield and
Go.
go.
As you all head up.
Well, sorry, just sword.
As you all head
I'll be your
towards
shield.
the entrance, you actually see that Zana is putting her weapons away and holstering them. You're surprised by the sound of a familiar voice echoing through the beginning of the caverns from the entrance. You quickly recognize it as Amu. I bring good tidings and happy guests, he bellows. And as you all begin to gather, you see Amu. You recognize Dr. Thavex, and 2 Eormatons you don't immediately recognize. One is built with small, lithe limbs and parts, with arms and a cloak patterned with forest leaves. The other is bulkier, with attachments and a chassis that was probably best suited for working in harsher conditions. Zelus, you can't explain why. It takes a moment, but you recognize something in them beyond just their build. Recognize your sisters, Rock and Vision.
Ah, my siblings. How are you doing?
Leaf.
Better.
And both of them come towards you with their arms out, wrap around you, and embrace you. A odd feeling and a show of affection that you've never received from your siblings before.
Leaf or Zelus will hug them. How are you doing?
Vision pulls back, looks at you, and goes, "Never been better, Brother Leaf. It's not something that
It
either of
is. Sorry, it is Zelus now.
Brother Zelus. Dr. Thavex could probably explain it better. It's not a process we understand exactly, but we feel now. Thavex steps forward. During the process of rebuilding them, I had to use more and more Aormaton parts and construction, so an upgrade was necessary that had unforeseen but pleasant results.
Wow.
That is wonderful news.
Rock says, emotions are difficult to process, and don't know if I like them yet.
Preach.
Honestly, yeah.
Everyone
I think
nods
those was
stoically.
born with it. Or born with it, I
You
would
probably
say.
never will.
You learn to appreciate them, but not necessarily like them. There's a difference.
Where is Gear, Reed, and Fist, and the doctor?
That is less fortunate. Dr. Fernelius has passed, unfortunately. The others are hopefully temporarily off for the moment.
You watch as both Vision and Rock's postures kind of slump. Rock turns back towards Thavex. I'd like to reiterate my earlier request for the ability to turn off my feelings. Vex goes, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that even for us. I could take a look at your other siblings, depending on the damage, and if you were able to save their memory cores, given time, they can go through the same process that Rock and Vision both did.
We were able to get them, yes.
Please show me to them, and I can at least make a look at them now to give you some expectations.
Very well.
Zelus will lead them to his siblings.
As they do, Zana gives you a bit of a nudge, Raz. He can give sentience to automatons. I'm sure he can probably do something about your... Well, he can probably give you a hand.
She gives Zana a look. How long were you waiting for that?
I
The-
snort.
Perfect moment.
Okay. She nods. Yeah, I'll make sure to ask her.
Are you
Give
sure
me
you
a
want
hand.
sentience in your hand?
I would prefer to have anything in my hand versus what's there now.
So,
That is fair.
taking a look over... Well, Gear actually had no damage done to them whatsoever. So... Thavex explains that they can basically do the same thing that they did with Vision and Reed, where you had to sort of choose between whether or not you wanted them restored to their original memory, or if you want them to keep the memory that they currently have. But since Denozo's demise, Gear has kind of been in a state of sort of a neutral state. If you talk to them, they respond. They'll do what's asked of them, but otherwise just seem very neutral. Greed can be repaired, but Fist, if I remember correctly, was reduced to 0 HP with a critical smite. And the card was damaged. So, Zelus, would you like to make this roll, or would you like me to?
I will make the roll.
Go ahead and roll 2d20s for me.
Now, do I add the pluses before or after the roll for inspirations?
From your inspiration bonuses.
Yes.
So this is just going to be to determine what the damage of the thing is, what the difficulty of it is. The actual process of repairing it, and that roll will come later.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 2d20.
17 and 8.
17 and 8. Please keep those in mind. Write those down somewhere for me.
Oh.
But Thavex takes a look at the memory core. This is not... I'm not going to say that it's impossible to recover your brother's memory and programming from this, but it will be difficult. Definitely need to return them to my lab.
Please do whatever you can for them.
Of course.
There's also this bag of memory cores, like the 30 that we had from...
Yeah, you show that to Thavex,
whatever.
and he takes a look, and you see him brighten up. From what I've understood, there were a lot of us that went missing. Well, this kidnapping ring that you dismantled was in operation. A lot of them we thought were gone forever, but with these, given time, should all be restored and be able to return to whatever lives they were leading prior.
Only sorry we couldn't find the bodies to go with them.
Bodies are
they're-
temporary. They can be replaced.
If you go to Guarden, though, you might the shop where they were disassembling parts is there, and there's a few in here as well. You could take for parts if you need them.
We'll be sure to let those back in Aor's recollection. No. Amu speaks up and goes, So, I can't do anything today, having just brought us here, but since Leaf's siblings need to make their way back to Aor's recollection, perhaps a bit of a respite from your journey. I can always bring you back here if your journey requires it.
Perhaps she's going to look to the doctor and show the prosthetic arm. Do you think this is something that'd be possible to graft onto me?
He examines it and definitely comments on the craftsmanship that he's even in terms of Aormaton physiology, this is an exceptional prosthetic. He's never tried to graft or to put something like this to a living being before, and that it might take some ingenuity and some parts that may need to be custom made. At this point, though, Zana points out or brings your attention and Thavex's attention to a barrel of supplies back near the front. Looking inside these barrels, you see the same sort of weird sort of living circuits. The things that had comprised the steel predator that you saw, and that was
The zombie robots.
that was puppeting the zombie robots. And also asks Hermia to show that orb that she had found and taken from the steel predator.
Oh yeah, I did take an orb.
You did. And just looking at those with a cursory glance, Fafex does think that between the orbs and that circuitry, he may be able to link them to the nervous system in your body, Rosalind, to give you control and feeling in that arm. But that it is an experimental process, and one that following it you would have to be closely monitored for at least a week just to make sure that your body takes to it. And especially when you mention, oh yeah, that was the thing that was puppeting the zombie robots. I think there is probably a unanimous nodding of the heads that everyone's like, yeah, let's make sure Roz doesn't get taken over.
I don't want to be Doc Ock.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Big preference for that not to happen, please.
So as you all prepare, in Zelus, did you prepare transport via plants today to where you could go to Air's Recollection a day sooner should you need to? Because otherwise Amu will have to wait a day.
Of course I did.
If you didn't,
Not.
you can say that you did.
I was gonna say, does it?
I actually used my 6th level slot for Hero's Feast, so I am
You-
unable to do
It's
it.
been a day since.
Yeah,
then.
you
Yeah,
guys
we
had a
rested.
long rest. Yeah,
Yeah, we
you had a long
rested.
rest at the
Oh!
top of the session.
Then yes, I definitely prepared that.
Good.
You had a day to prepare. It's fine.
So you all take time to finish gathering what you need, supplies for Roz's arms, what Aeromaton parts Thavex can find that he thinks will be useful, and obviously they can always return here in the future with Amu's help as well for more of it. Vision and Rock also both broached the subject that Rosalind originally did with Zelus on whether or not some kind of memorial or last rites should be conducted for Dr. Fernelius. So as you all gather outside near one of the larger trees, with the help of Amu, Thavex, Vision, and Rock, the preparation to leave behind Zelus's home in the laboratory of Dr. Fernelius is quickly finished. As everyone is gathered outside of the entrance, Vision approaches you with Rock, Zelus. Even if we are leaving this place behind, making a new home in Air's Recollection or wherever it is you'd like to go, the times we shared here with the doctor were still real. We'd like to hold a remembrance or a vigil, something to honor her and the life that she gave us. So, Zelus, how would you like to honor Dr. Fernelius?
Zelus will just stop and be in thought for a moment, and then is going to begin casting its classic plant growth among the tree and just create a large tapestry of just beautiful flowers and
We can
we'll say
also
lilies.
say-
Lilies because those were her favorite.
Now, we can also say that her remains were brought out and buried beneath this tree as well.
Mm-hmm.
So using plant growth, you, like you have many times now, create a loving tribute to the doctor. Were there any last words that you wanted to say? Or anyone for that matter, if anyone would like to say anything, you are given a chance.
I don't think I'm gonna say it aloud, but
Mhm.
there is like a prayer Hermia would like to do.
Sure.
So basically, she's going to pray to the Raven Queen that even though Dr. Fernelius's life was kind of like twisted and distorted, that that wasn't what she had wanted, and that she prays that her soul is able to get to the other side despite that.
I think as you say this prayer silently to yourself, you do hear Foromir's voice back of your mind. Even though the end of her life may have been dark, you and your friends were able to free her from that, and in her final moments, she found peace and happiness for her children. Vision.
No.
I just do. Vision also steps forward. I apologize in advance. I don't know how this is going to go. Words have new meanings for me since the changes. I recall the moments, the memories of our life with Dr. Fernelius, and they seem different now. They're like a storybook or a fairy tale. A happy life with our family. And there's nothing. But something did happen in that. Rock and I don't remember, but we can imagine now from what you've told us, from what we've seen. That fairy tale was ruined by a monster and his machinations. It's a life that we'll never get back, but it wasn't the end. Thanks to our brother Zelus. Our knight in shining armor, as the people of Exandria might say. We lost our doctor, our mother here. But thanks to you, Zelus, and to your friends, we've gained something more. May she rest in peace, knowing that we can live now in a way that she dreamed we could have from our inception. Thank you, Isabella. She steps back. With that, Zelus, would you like to describe how your transport via plants manifests?
It's just like almost like you'd expect like the spell to have like to be like more natural, but instead it's like a lot of like the arcane wisps from like the sides of the portal are like all at like right angles, like kind of like circuitry boards, and it just kind of like opens up to we're going to Aor's recollection over to a tree over in that direction.
So you come out a bit of a ways from Aor's recollection. There'll still be a bit of a hike down to the beaches there, and then up into the cove into Aor's recollection. And it is a solemn march. Not many words are spread as everyone remains in quiet contemplation, honoring the memory of Dr. Fernelius. But upon returning to Aor's recollection, you are greeted by Calatrek the Steward. You actually spent quite some time with Rock and Vision during their rebuilding. They offer a spot here in Aor's recollection. Recently renovated ship hall that can serve as their new home. They offer this to you too, Leaf. At Aor's recollection, if you so choose it, whether now or in the future, is open to you and to your friends.
Thank you. Although I am a traveler right now, I would enjoy to settle down in this area.
So, what we're going to do now is kind of jump around a little bit. This doesn't necessarily have to happen in the order that we're doing it, and we're not going to worry about delineating when the day-night cycle kind of happens unless it calls for it due to a use of transport via plants. I'll be sort of keeping track of those, and that'll kind of decide exactly how long this takes. One of the first things that does happen, though, given that she's been waiting quite some time now, is the process of attaching Rosalind's new arm. Thavex takes most of the day to try and understand the nature of these living circuits, as he calls them, and this odd arcane core that Hermia had found. The process does end up being relatively straightforward, simple, and even painless, Rosalind. But as Thavex had described before, it's a new process, and it's also, even in the ways that he knows of, not unheard of for bodies to reject procedures like this. So he doesn't want you to go too far, or at least not so far that you can't get back in a hurry if need be. But after, I will say the procedure takes about an hour. You watch as he puts this orb up next to your wound, and as he heats it up and draws between the orb and your shoulder, and between the orb and the arm, these living circuits seem to kind of snake around a bit and then begin to embed and snake themselves into your flesh, and somehow, unnaturally so, are able to find the nerves, muscle, ligatures that they need. Almost like they understand, based on what's on either side of them, what they're looking for. And you watch as they begin to pull the arm up. That orb sinks into your flesh as well until the arm is up flush against it and begins to bond with it, magically so. And at first, it's just this heavy weight on the side of your shoulder, and as time begins to pass, like a numb limb slowly getting the feeling back, until it start to spread down until you wiggle the fingertips, and that heaviness in the arm is gone. Flex your arm, each of your digits at all of the same points that they would, and close your eyes. It doesn't feel like any had changed, like you never lost it to begin with.
I can feel.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. More than I could have hoped for.
Zana, who's been here watching over this whole procedure as well, her arms crossed, goes, still missing something. Watch as she fishes around in her bag and takes out the wolf's head pauldron. Reforged now with gold between the seams and filling in each of the missing pieces. She hands it over to you.
I think Roz cries a little. A little tear drips down her cheek. And then she very suddenly pulls Zana into a hug.
Zana kind of goes rigid for a minute,
Accept the hug.
and then awkwardly kind of puts her hands up and kind of pats you on the back a little bit. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. Callie, I think that you put it in, but if not, remind me later, and I will send you the Dreamwalker's Pauldron, which
Okay,
you can
did.
add to your...
Heck if I did.
So now I'm going to ask the rest of you, what is it over this period of time that those of you would like to do, like to accomplish? You have access to transport via plants, both through Zelus and through Amu, if there's anywhere you'd like to visit. You will have to stay there for the duration of a day, unless both of them were to go with you. So, let me know, and as we begin, one thing for someone, people can put in the chat what they'd like to do, and then I can jump to you person by person based on what people would like to accomplish. Who wants to go first?
And doesn't start with a transport with plants. I don't know if eventually we'll get to that point.
Did we roll for who goes first?
I think anybody can go. So
Yeah,
if you want
and
to go
anyone
first,
who
you can.
wants to.
wanna
Corey,
go
what
first?
would you like to do?
No. I don't want to go first. I don't want to go first. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, then I'll kick it off. Let's go to Nicodranus, like all of us, and go tell the kids that we finished their quest.
It's another good point. If you technically all go to the same place together, you could also leave from there to another place if you're all going. So
Right.
that way you don't have to waste a transport via plants.
Right, because
going
Zelus
back.
could take us to Nicodranus, and then Amu could take us wherever we go next.
Hey.
Yep. So Amu does agree for the next week to sort of stick around. He hasn't been to Air's Recollection a lot, and a turtle isn't something that those who stay in Air's Recollection get to see a lot either. So they tend to actually kick it off pretty well, especially considering that both aeromatons and turtles live to be a long time. Yes, Wizards of the Coast, the fact that turtles are only live to be like 40 years old is stupid. Turtles are long-lived.
What?
That's so weird.
Yeah, the canon age of a turtle, or like life expectancy, is like 40 to 50 years.
Why?
Who knows? All right.
Weird. At least
So-
have a reason if you're gonna put it for that arbitrary number.
So,
Anyway,
you all want to head to Nicodranus to meet
It's
with...
a nice place to be.
Yes, to meet with... Oh gosh, what did I call them?
you
I
don't even
forget.
remember?
Oh
I-
God, it was a play on the Mighty Nine.
It was.
It was.
I can look up... I can go back up and find it.
It's the something 7, right?
I think so. Was it the Super
The
7?
Super 7. The
Super 7
that was
sounds
it.
right.
Was it? That sounds so dumb.
Wasn't also the joke is that they
It
have two more members
was
than what they have,
the
just
Super
like the
7.
9.
Yep, the Super
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Oh, kids. Yeah. So, the following day, you all use a transport via plants, and you find yourself back at the lavish chateau, where you are greeted by quite a few people there, including the Ruby of the Sea and the Gentleman. When JJ and Clay see you back, because I believe you had sent a message
Mhm.
letting them know that you had accomplished the mission, and they said that if you came back, they would have a reward from you, or for you rather. So they do
We're here
reward
for our
you
reward.
with a sack of 10 gold, 11 silver. On the sly, without them noticing, the gentleman says that good work, such as what you did, should be rewarded, as it's very rare that people seek to do good without expecting anything in return. And he slides you a slightly bigger sack with 500 gold and 50 platinum in it.
50 platinum.
50.
So 1,000 gold total. Nice.
1,000 gold total. Okay. Thank you. Needed someone to do that math. And I did put in that 10 gold, though, unless you want to give it back, y'all. I did not put in the 11 silver.
No.
Like the idea that you like take out the 10 gold, look at the 11 silver, and just like throw the sack behind you. Or you just like drop it in like a nearby plant and like cover it up with a little bit of soil. We don't need that.
We could have Zana like give it back to them secretly.
I paid them 50 gold each to be on our boat. They got plenty of gold.
I feel like I want to give you guys like a magic item from them as well.
Okay.
But like, what magic item would some kids have?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
It's got to
yeah.
be something really stupid.
Something that's like Cape of Billowing level, right? Like, not Cape of Billowing, because we already have
could-
that.
They
Some-
could also have leftover Mighty Nine like magic items. And
Oh
they're
my
just like,
gosh,
Shit,
we
have
get-
it.
JJ gives us like her mom's heirloom, and we all go, nope.
Unfortunately, none of them got anything quite that great.
Not old enough, I don't think. Is it JJ? Is that her name? Did I get that wrong?
You did.
Mhm.
Yep.
JJ.
Jester Jr.
Jester Jr.
Okay.
JJ, Clay, Milo, Luke.
So, Luke comes up to you, Roslyn, at some point when everyone's like celebrating. Crosses his arms, stands next to you. Whatever like pose you're in, he like mimics that pose.
Roz is definitely just like doing like the typical like lean against the wall, 1 foot kind of against
Yeah,
it.
yep. He
Oh
comes
my
up and does he comes up and does the exact same thing next to you. Do pretty good work.
Well, we've had pretty good inspiration to follow.
Yeah, I was a bit worried to begin with. You guys were kind of rough around the edges, but stood off.
He nods. Well, I understand that people like us, we can't all be the Super 7.
True dat. True dat. I wanted to give you something, and he reaches into his pocket. I know this seems dumb, like it's just some like little like kids thing or whatever, but like it's not. Okay, this has real power. It's my lucky charm, and I feel like you guys are out there doing more stuff. I'm gonna want it back when I'm old enough to go traveling on my own. But until then, you can have it. And he reaches out and he drops in your hand this old looking D4. Like this thing has seen better days. The edges aren't as sharp as they once were. Most of the red paint has flaked off or chipped away. And all the numbers, except for the 4, are completely worn off.
Okay. Something I should know about the D4? Is it magical?
Gonna have to get it
Let's find out.
inspected.
Well, then she'll reach into her pack and nod. All right. Well, where I come from, you get something, you give something. That's just how it works. So I have something for you too. This is for if the Super 7 ever find themselves in a bit of trouble that they need some real help for, and there's no one around to help. And she produces a potion from her pack and hands it to him.
Just a regular potion.
No, it's a potion of frost giant strength.
Oh. He kind of takes it and looks at it. We don't need handouts, but it would be rude not to take this. So
It would be very rude not to take it.
I'll hold on to it.
All right.
Do I need to
don't
take that
need
out of
to
her
hand-
And
thing?
he puts
No,
it
I
into
had it
his
in my
pack as
inventory.
well.
Okay.
He stands back up and resumes leaning against the wall.
All right. So you spend the rest of the day in Nicodranus, celebrating everything at the lavish chateau was on the house. You're able to return to your good friend, the
Can we visit?
Favex?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I wanted to get apple oranges.
Thavex is the
Is the doctor.
Is it?
No, the apple oranger vendor.
Yes.
It's
Uh,
been a long
Vaccine?
time.
Devaxin.
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 That sounds more correct. I knew there were some X's in there.
Yep. Yeah, sure. You can go and visit Zervaxin, and as you do, you see that he is selling a bundle of some new fruit to some people as you walk up to him. It is kind of long and curved, sort of like a banana, but it has like brown skin and has like a little bit of fuzz on it. And as they walk away, he says, "Please enjoy your kiwi nanners. Second chances. Welcome, friends. It's so good to see you."
Roz kind of looks at us like, I don't know if this one's going to do as well as the oranges did.
I don't think so either. I think he's got to redo some marketing.
This
Still-
one doesn't have the eye appeal.
Still working on the name. The other one that I thought of was Beewees.
Yeah, you know what?
I think that's cuter.
It's cuter, but it's a tough one. It's a tough mix.
Yeah.
Would you like to try one?
Yeah.
Can I not do it? I'm kidding.
Please.
We were all thinking it.
Roz
Don't-
tries one.
No need to be self-conscious. So essentially, it's basically just a kiwi, but it's in the shape of a banana.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's literally
Yeah,
just kiwi. She's like,
Yep.
well, she's probably never had a kiwi, so she's
Oh,
like,
I love kiwis.
Yep.
Kiwis are good.
not bad.
It's a lot of kiwi.
It's a lot of kiwi. I would think, like, when you taste this flavor, you expect less of it. But it's, it's not bad.
Most people like to use it to make drinks. Mash it and grind it up into a sort of thicker smoothie, if you will. Smoothie. That sounds catchy.
I like it. I think you're onto something here.
You can
Sound like a-
put some alcohol in it, some like crushed ice.
Ooh.
You could be the king of smoothies or the smoothie king.
And I mean, you gotta have all this tropical fruit too, so it could be like a tropical smoothie.
Yeah,
But
you are like off of the coast, so it works.
Can I visit the guy who makes my hormones?
yeah, Luke's father. Yep.
Yep.
Brenato's better self.
Yes.
You sure can. And Yeza is home as well.
She'll step into the building and kind of glance around.
He notices you pretty quickly. It is a small shop as you enter. He goes, "Oh, Roslyn from the second places.
Chances.
The second chances.
That's us.
It's good to see you again."
It's good to see you. We're back in town just for a bit. I wanted to say thank you for getting the supply to my friends on Taldora. That could not have been
good,
easy.
good. It did make it then. Yes, yes.
It did.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
I can continue to send if you like.
Yes, whatever it costs.
We can cover it. Word has spread pretty quickly to the Navistes around here, and all of them are quite eager for your new and improved formula you've made, or your aunt, I suppose, has made a
My
lot
aunt,
of
yeah.
people very happy.
She nods and takes out a sack of coins and sets it on the table. This is for if someone who needs it can't afford it.
Anyone who comes into our shop truly needs something, never leaves empty. Anyone who comes in here, we make sure they leave a better version of themselves.
Smiles. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Bows her head politely and nods. If you ever need anything, just ask for the second chances.
Will do.
She'll leave.
All right, so you party on into the night as much or as little as you'd like.
Can I stop at a
Yep, go ahead.
magic shop real quick?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
A pair of sending stones that are paired together. And if
250
they
gold.
can be 250 gold.
Yep.
You need it from the pot?
No, I can do it.
You sure? Okay.
Can they be like a heart shape, like one of those friendship stones that kind of clasp together?
Sure.
Cool.
So yeah, you get those. Rosalind and Hermia.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Just before sunset, as you were all celebrating, the door to the lavish chateau flies open, and you watch as that the Minotaur bodyguard, who's usually around the Ruby of the Sea, kind of jumps to action, or like kind of like a lot of people are like, what? Because this type of stuff doesn't happen in the lavish chateau. All right.
Yeah.
In this side of town.
This is port tavern. business.
So people are definitely sort of alerted, and you see in the doorway the Beauty and the Beast.
God damn.
Thought you could come into town and we wouldn't get a chance to defend our title, huh?
Hermia hides behind Roz.
Now we're not gonna do the full fight here. We're just gonna do some D20 rolls to see how it goes. So Rosalind and Hermia, if you would both roll a D20. If you'd like to inspo it, you may, but we're gonna take your two highest rolls. We're gonna add them to the two highest, or we're gonna add them to basically add them together and then put them against Beauty and the Beast's two D20s, and the highest one wins this round.
Did we
Oh, yeah,
add
I'm inspoing
anything?
Nope, straight D20 rolls.
Okay.
But I did. I got an 18.
Okay.
I got a 16.
All right. Well, they rolled a 16 and a 3. So last time, I think Rosalind went down first, and then it was like a 1v1 with Hermia and the other one. This time they focus Hermia. She goes down first. Rosalind, you take down the Beauty
Why go down first?
because you rolled
I
lower.
did last time.
Yep. And then you and the Beast basically go like tit for tat until like you're barely standing. And you do notice like afterwards, as they're being picked back up, Beast is like, "This is no fair. You got a metal arm."
I mean, you knew that when you took the fight.
But you also collect the pot for this month. So take another 750 gold.
All right, Hermia, 375 for you, 375 for me.
I guess that's worth getting beat up for.
Roz gives you an approving nod. Yeah, it is.
Leaf is just, Zelus is just over Hermia, just kind of dabbing her forehead with like a little white handkerchief.
I feel like this was like personal for them.
It was.
I think
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Very
was a little
personal.
personal.
I think that was the point.
It is not personal. It was just business.
As you walk off, though, Beauty does call after you. See you next month.
I'm never coming back here again.
Roz pulls you up to your feet. You did great.
So, I don't know if there's any place else that all of you want to go to. So we'll say that at least half of you, or the majority of you, go back to Ayer's Recollection with either Zelus or Amu at some point. Maeve and Roz, you two wanted to have a talk with Zana at some point. This probably happened the same day that you got to Ayer's Recollection. Either.
I think he means separately.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if you two wanted to talk to her together about like what happened.
Oh, unless you want to be
when
part
you
of
were
that, I
first
don't
going
know.
into. I know you both also have different things you want to talk to her about.
Yeah.
So you
We'll
can
do it
maybe.
separately, I think.
All right, that's fine. All right, so Maeve, we'll say that as Rosalind is being prepped for the procedure with her arm, you find Zana waiting outside.
Yeah, so she'll go up to her. She'll just kind of stand next to her. I know it's been a couple of days now, but I guess I just wanted to check in about what happened during that last battle. You seem pretty spooked.
I don't get spooked.
How would you describe it?
I was doing what I thought was best. I waited for Rosalind to give the order to go in. Given that we had the information from you, layout described to us, her and Hermia could have easily used the phalanx formation to push into the cave, making it easy for those with magic behind to support them. Given that the cave was twisting and turning the way that it did, my weaponry imposes limitations on me. My goal was to get to you as quickly as possible. That only endangered me, but it would increase your chance of survival. It wasn't a choice that was based on... It's no reflection on you, Dave. It's not that I don't think that you can handle yourself or that you weren't capable. It was a choice that I made as your partner because I don't want to lose you.
I totally get that. I really do. I know it's not easy to make those choices in the moment. But just like how there are people that, people want me safe, I get that. And I tried to make my choices based on that too. I know you didn't want me to go there alone. I did because I thought that was best, and Roz made the request. And that's why I tried to keep you updated as much as I can. That's why I told you as soon as I figured out I was safe and could have possibly been in trouble.
I don't think that you did anything wrong, but you failed.
I know, but from what I've heard, and you can disagree, it just kind of sounds like you made certain choices that understandably put, I think, my safety above group cohesion. And I'm not saying that I would have done something different than you. But this is gonna happen again.
I will make
telling
the
me
same choices then. Like
Okay.
you said, they can argue, but I disagree. I trusted that the rest of the second chances had it in.
But I don't want you to say that I can't do something again that I do have capabilities in.
You're allowed to make your own choices. I know.
I am sorry that I scared you, though.
I don't scare.
Worried? Can I at least use that word?
Fine.
She'll reach for a hug.
She returns it.
Yay. She kind of gives a big sigh. I know we have this respite now, but I'm what's the word I'm looking? Not fidgety. I'm restless. So, but if there's something that you need while we're here, I'm here for it. Because I know I'm going to need you quite a bit once we're in the grove.
She nods. Corey, what do you think you're doing around Ayer's recollection in some of your downtime? By the way, they don't card at the bar because they don't really have much of a concept.
It's just bar?
Yeah, it's just bar.
Yeah, it's just bar.
Also, I'm
I
taller.
thought that was Ayer's. Oh,
So-
sorry. I thought you guys were talking about the Katranas.
So I feel like they might mistake me for an adult anyway.
Maybe?
So-
Who knows?
Yeah.
All your clothes are still a little ill-fitting now.
Okay. I wanted to
Your
ask you
pants
about
have
this
turned
because
into
I have-
capris.
But I have Glamour Weave.
Sure, but Glamour Weave has pre-programmed illusions into them. You don't get to change
Okay.
it as you see fit.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
So you have a lot of Glamour Capris now.
Okay. I think I would be very much attentive to Zelus, and whatever they wanted to do. So if they were like, "Hey, let's party," if not, stay in.
So you're kind of
And-
attached to the hip with Zelus right now.
Yeah, and like also,
We should throw him a birthday party. Sorry. Hermia just popped up out of
Oh.
nowhere.
wait, do you say that to Corey?
Just out of a barrel.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
Cause
I
like,
think-
he's like, he just his life just started. So like, I mean,
Yeah.
belated birthday.
No, I love that. I think why don't we plan it with everyone else? Because I feel like it would be weird to do it like on his mom's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know they said that, but like
no, I
no.
get it. That's
yeah.
unfortunate.
But then we can do it up, and then we can invite his siblings, and it'll be really fun, and maybe we could have an Aor's recollection.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right.
Let's do
so
it.
at some point, Corey, when you're with Leaf, what's your passive perception?
Mine?
Yep.
It's butt. I think it's 10.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yes.
It's only 10.
Yeah.
So your perception is 0.
My well, wait, yeah, it's +0.
Nice.
I mean, at least your wisdom's a 10. That's better than
Yeah.
your strength.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, at some point, as you're just kind of like hanging out, watching Zelus and his siblings and stuff like that, you hear like right behind you. You have a minute to talk. It's like one of those things where like Zana just sort of like appears behind you type deals.
God, Hermia would
Oh.
shit herself if that happened.
Zana, you can't just Batman everywhere you freaking go, okay?
You mean
Dumb.
Owlbear Man?
Owlbear man.
Whatever. Yes. God.
He's
That's
real.
not real.
He's
Yes,
real.
Leaf
Biggest
saw Zana
disagreement
walk
in
up.
Hermia and Raza's relationship.
So-
Zana and Maves too.
If this was like an anime, the scene before Hermia pops out of a barrel and is like, "We should throw him a birthday," and then in this scene, Rosalind and Hermia pop out of the same barrel. He's real.
He's real.
I wanted to talk to you about the siege of Zelus's home the other day.
Like yesterday? Yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah.
This is fluid. It
We
doesn't
don't know
the
necessarily.
day.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
we
sorry.
don't know what day it is.
Doesn't
Corey's
knows.
drunk. I'm sorry. Wasn't that like yesterday? Sorry. This is
Wasn't that like
my
last week?
fifth-
I
Yeah.
know that you've been having issues when it comes to combat, whether that's with your magic or your confidence. And I just wanted to let you know that very brave and you did well. I was impressed.
Set down my drink. Wow. Thanks. I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting that,
Thank-
Zana. You can't just drop something like that on me.
Thanks is all you have to say. I just thought that you
Well-
should know, so you don't think that I'm always questioning your abilities. I'm not. I know that you're a capable fighter, magic user, and when it comes to things like what we face, no one is perfect. Not me, not Hermia, not Rosalind. Everyone messes up. The more that you do it, the better you become at adapting. So don't be so hard on yourself. Things don't go the way you want them to.
Thanks. I I kind of wanted to talk to you about that too. I'm sorry that I said what I said before we went in. If that upset you, um, I think it did upset you what I said about Maeve and all that. That was very unprofessional of me. Um, and I know you just said not to be too hard on myself, but I want you to know that I am trying and that I will be better when it comes to, I don't know, not being a dick.
She just smiles and gives you a pat on the head.
Well, if you want, I kind of want to play this game with you, Zana, for
She
tonight.
furrows her brow a bit. What game?
Yeah. Okay. So, we've always had this rivalry.
Have we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like who's the better changeling, And I think it would be really fun if for tonight we pretend to be each other, and whoever doesn't get caught the longest
I
time.
don't like this.
I won't do anything weird, I promise, but
Oh god.
I'm decreeing right now that Hermia and Roz have left for Vasselheim by this point.
I'm going to unfortunately have to turn this one down.
my gosh, come on. This is like what we do. I thought this was like a changeling bonding thing.
WWMD.
What would Mother Maeve do?
What would Maeve do?
I guess it'd be weird if Zana called her mother.
I don't know. Maybe I should ask her as you. I'm gonna go run off.
Oh my god.
Zana's going to take out her pair of the sending stone Maeve gave her.
I thought you were gonna say she pulls out her gun.
Pulls out a pistol.
Aims it and goes, nobody would know. Oh, yeah, no, the last time I saw her, she was headed into the bar. I don't know what happened.
Zana pulls her gun out. I was like, I tried.
They say people stumble and fall into the water all the time. Current takes them out through the cove, into the city, and never see them again. She just lets you know that Corey wanted to play a game where she pretends to be Zana. So.
Got it. Okay. 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 Actually, she'd be more like, okay.
Zelus, is there anything that you would like to do?
Here in Aor's recollection?
Anywhere.
The world is your oyster. Kind of. It's.
I would say I would just be talking to the people in Aor's recollection, letting them know that after I'm done adventuring, that I had plans to create a sort of druid grove around the city to help protect it.
So yeah, you kind of explain to the three gears, they're called, the sort of the three leaders here, or not leaders in like the usual sense, but they're the people that a lot
The
of
elders.
Sure, if you will. You kind of explain to them the process and like what a druid grove is exactly, and they agree to it. More so as like a means of protection and obfuscation. People do know about Aora's recollection, and it is pretty defensible. But you go outside with some of the scouts and essentially begin the process of turning the path on the beach and sort of going into the cove into creating a grove or a tropical forest here, which will just give more cover to Aor's recollection, make it a bit more defensible should they need that for any reason. But this also gives them the ability now to start harvesting fruits, start harvesting the trees here. And whereas before, their main source of sort of trade here was just what they could pull off of the ocean floor, essentially. Going into wrecks and salvaging. There you go. Salvage was the word I'm looking for. Was just what they could find when it came to salvaging. And this now gives them, more to trade with to Nicodranus and Port Damali, or, those who are coming through. It allows them the ability to construct more buildings than just using the driftwood or the salvaged remains of ships in order to do so. We'll say that you spend a little bit of each day that you're in Aor's recollection doing this, and you get a decent amount of a fledgling forest on sort of the outside of the cove here started.
And I produce the first batch of cocoa quats.
2 days later, you receive a letter from Zervaxin that you are infringing on his...
Getting C indeed by Zervaxin.
Respectfully.
Yeah, of course.
Well, if it's respectfully, I can't really deny it.
Who would like to be next?
Roz will tell Light she's ready to face the music.
You'd like to speak with Mother?
Yep.
Did you want to...
Because someone's uncle has a big mouth.
And did you want to introduce her to your beau?
If that is something we can possibly do, and Hermia will agree to it, yes.
So, Light is actually the one who suggests it as well.
Okay.
Probably to your surprise.
Yeah, definitely my surprise.
She explains she's not sure if it will work, but if Quarry casts Dream on Hermia and Dream on you, and then Light allows you to...
So she's going to dream Hermia into my dream, and then Light will send me to Evelyn?
Essentially, once you're on the other side,
our way.
using Light. I was just trying to think of like a non-weird way to say you're using your sister's body.
We're doing Phoenix right.
Jaegering. Okay, so if Corey casts Dream on you and Hermia, and then you Jaeger into Light, Hermia can dream to Roslyn, who's still on her plane, and then you dream to Evelyn, who's on the plane you're on. And she says...
And now all three of us are in one spot.
That may work. It may connect all of you because your consciousnesses are all...
My brain hurts.
Roz has definitely got the meme of the woman with the math problems all around her head.
Roz is just like, okay, so she casts Dream on me and Hermia, and you'll figure out the rest. And Light's just like, yes.
As I've said before, Roz is a strong girl, not a bright girl.
Yep.
But she's in.
Okay. So you find Corey one of these nights and have her cast Double Dream on... Well, first of all, do you want to go to Hermia and see if she'd like to meet your mom?
Yeah. So one of the nights that we're available to, Roz does approach Hermia and says, so, hey, I was wondering if... Okay, I need to talk to my mom, and while I know part of that discussion is going to be me getting an earful about losing an arm, I also thought it would be nice to introduce her to you if you were interested in meeting her.
Oh, you want her to meet your friends? God.
No.
Boy.
I want her to meet you.
Hermia like blue screens.
I want her to meet my girlfriend.
Right. That That did, yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna say okay and freak out later.
All right. She's very nice.
Okay. Well, she's gonna yell at you. How nice is she?
I mean, it's not nearly as scary now that she doesn't have the demon living in her anymore. So yeah.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, my mom doesn't have like a demon living in her that I know about, but she's still pretty scary when she yells at me.
Oh well. She can definitely be scary, but I think she'll be okay in the context of her meeting you. Roz thinks
Okay.
back to some of the times she absolutely chewed out her and Mira. Yeah, it'll probably be fine.
Okay. How would that work though?
Well, Light explained to me that Corey's gonna cast Dream on both of us, and Light will take it from there. Cause she explained the process, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna nod and
So,
be like, yeah.
So later that night, Corey casts Dream on the two of you. You close your eyes, you focus on your connection with Light, who has already explained the process to Evelyn and is already asleep. And after a few moments, Hermia, you feel the connection that Roz is asleep. Dream to her, Rosalind, you dream to Evelyn. And Roz, how would you like this meeting to take place?
I would like this meeting to take place on the shores of the Ustalak, where Roz learned to swim.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, that happened.
Yep. So, just outside of Trostenwald, a short distance from the dock ward, there's a small table set up that has a few drinks on it. Some three dock chairs set up around it. Random, indistinct children running around off in the distance, playing, and generalized dock noises kind of happening. It's a nice,
What Roz remembers.
relaxing, but like a relaxing sort of
Yeah.
version of it. You know, just barely off in the periphery, so that it doesn't seem like this is just a weird dreamscape. You've used the dream spell enough now that you're getting better each time at sort of constructing this world. And you see your mother sitting there in one of the chairs. And whether it was a conscious choice or not, I think that spring has probably just recently come to a bit of an end, starting to get into the summer months. So there she is with sort of shorter, fiery red hair, darker skin. And she turns, she sees you. She smiles and she stands up, kind of like, see her kind of like flexing her hands and feeling her like legs and just her sides, and she's like, "It must be a dream, right? I have no idea what this place is."
Yeah.
She walks up, takes your hand, your face in her hands, and looks at you, and then gives you a hug, squeezes you tightly.
She hugs her back very tightly. It's called Trostenwald. It's a small city in Exandria, but well, I thought you might like getting to see open plains and, well, what people live like around here.
She looks out over the water, having only seen a few small ponds and lakes in Bunno. It's quite the sight, but what I would like to know a little bit more about first is this lovely young woman that you have with you. And she points back to Hermia hiding behind you.
He's hiding behind you.
Roz steps aside. Mom, this is my girlfriend Hermia. Hermia, this is my mother Evelyn.
Please don't yell at me.
Why would I yell at you?
I don't know. Roz mentioned yelling.
She did she?
Yeah.
Not at her.
Well,
The arm.
I suppose we'll get with that. I wouldn't want to make my daughter out to be a liar.
Hermia like looks ashamed. Oh, fuck.
But it's a pleasure to meet you, Hermia. I see that my daughter's taste for redheads continues. Also, she kind of like looks to Hermia, then looks back to you, Rosalind. Back to Hermia.
What?
Hermia, like, looks at her mom and just, like, looks at, like... she can't look at herself, so she's just, like, looking down.
Yeah. Nothing. Just some odd similarities.
Oh.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Why don't we all take a seat? Hermia, go ahead and make an insight check.
The Eldrin part?
Oh, they're both Summer Eldrin.
Hold on. What'd you say?
Insight.
I got a 17.
As she goes to sit back down, you kind of take a moment, you kind of follow nervously, and then realize that you're a Summer Eladrin, she's a Summer Eladrin.
Okay.
You both have red hair.
Roz went real Freudian.
I think
on
there's some
this.
Freudian thing about wanting to date your parents or something, yeah.
Hermia just mouth drops open. Oh, no.
Roz is like, no, that's not what this is. She sits down at the table.
Yep. So, explain this to me, and she points to your arm.
Yeah. There was a ring of kidnappers stealing people on the coast that we've been hunting down for the last month or so. And we finally caught up to them, and I tried to, how would Father put this? Deliver the justice of Avandra onto him, and he took exception to that. And he grabbed me and pulled my arm off.
She kind of grimaces a little bit. Right. Those things happen. How long ago did this happen?
Wait, those things do happen to more people than just Roz?
I mean,
back home, yeah.
Unfortunate things happen.
Yeah.
I would just like to know why it took you several days to tell me.
I was hoping to get the situation fixed before I worried you with it. There's not anything you could really have done about it.
Worried me, right, yes, because I, your mother, who lived 70 years in the abyss performing untold and unspeakable horrors for Cebriexis the Fleshcrafter, need to be protected from the fact that my daughter lost an arm.
Hey, that's a fair point. Yeah.
You're my daughter, and I will love you no matter what.
Faithfully.
Thank you.
Wow, this was what you were worried about? I thought it was going to be my level of parents yelling at me.
My apologies, Hermia. The yelling is now over.
Yeah, my parents would yell at me about how I dishonored the family by being a loser and getting my arm ripped off like a little bitch.
Well, that doesn't sound pleasant, and
they're not pleasant at all.
If you find yourself in Beno and need a mother in place of, you always have me. But just because the yelling's done doesn't mean the punishment is over.
Oh.
Hermia, would you like to hear the story of Night Pillow Pants Rosalind?
Oh,
Night
no.
Pillow Pants?
Yeah, see, when Rosalind was first starting out her training with her Uncle Levix and her father, she thought that getting knocked on her rear was a bit too painful. It happened very, very often. So one day, she showed up to practice.
Under the table.
She showed up to her practice with a pillow on her rump that was being held in place by several belts, so that this way, when she was knocked back, it would cushion her fall. And thus, Night Pillow Pants Rosalind Larest was born.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, and some armor has, like, padding,
It
like,
does. It
in
does.
that
She
area,
was a bit ahead of
so,
her time.
I mean, it's not too bad.
I do
thought
need
it
you to
was-
do one little favor for me. I understand that you travel with a group, right?
Yeah.
Leo, Leaf, Timavra,
Zelus, no, but yes.
Zelus, Timavra, Corey, and Zana. Could you please tell them the legend of Night Pillow Pants as well, please?
Why? Do you think they want to, like, make their own pants that have padding in it?
You know, people could find all sorts of inspiration in all sorts of stories.
Oh, okay, I'll try to remember.
I appreciate that.
Oh, good.
So you spend
glad that story has been shared.
You spend some more time, just kind of hanging out, telling her about your adventures, showing her how you learned to swim.
Yeah, we pushed her in.
She doesn't believe you at first. She thinks that we're in a dream and that you can just make yourself swim in here, but Hermia ensures her.
Yeah, that's how I learned. My brother pushed me in. I had no idea how to swim. There's nothing to hold on to. It was really scary.
You guys have a very pleasant time. Spend the full 8 hours hanging out here. And you can obviously change and shift the dream as you see fit if you'd like to show her any place else. Or
Yeah, I mean, Roz definitely wants to show her, like, Nicodranus and the coast, because she's never gotten to see the ocean.
Do you tell her about the Exandrian Lorests?
Yes, she does. She lets her mom know that in this world, Evelyn happily has 2 kids, and they are alive and well, and that Theris has been adopted by the shadow of this world. No, it's not just you. I hear it too. I don't know what it is.
She takes some time to sort of process it, and you see that she gets a bit misty-eyed, but it's a happy sadness. And eventually she, explains that she's glad that you told her, and that it means a lot to know that there are worlds out there where things progress differently. There's this much of a difference between just 2 worlds, then who knows how many other ones there are. The rest's found a happy ending.
Before the dream ends, she does say, like, right as they're starting to say their goodbyes and everything, Roz is like, by the way, just to put it out there, when I was 15, Uncle Levix used to sneak me drinks at every family function.
Did he?
He did.
And she gets this look on her face that definitely reminds you of the matriarch.
Yeah. And when the dream ends, she's going to say to Light, hey, Light, could you just do me a quick favor and send my Uncle Levix a message that says, we're even?
You just feel a smile. All right. Corey, you wanted to use one of these nights to dream to Mama Valentino. And what would you like that dream to consist of? You may be muted.
Hello?
Oh, nope. Okay,
Oh,
I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think Corey watching what Zelus went through was very much reminded them about OG Kieran and that whole situation. So I think that they go to dream to her, and I think where Corey starts it'll be in like the old house wherever they used to live when Kieran was still around.
Okay.
And I think if I can mess with the parameters of the dream as well.
Yeah.
She is sitting at the kitchen table reading a book or enjoying a snack in the afternoon, and Corey approaches but purposely alters the dream to where they're like invisible or they can't be seen or heard by her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a dream, so basically do anything you wanted.
You know, when I was here, it was really nice to know what it was like to have a mom. And I know it doesn't really count because I wasn't me. It's still really nice. And I've been thinking about how I want to talk to you to apologize. But I don't think that it would help you or help me. And it's funny because I actually have a chance to meet my bio parents. And that seems a little unfair in the grand scheme of things. So I'm just here to apologize and say that I think it'll be best for you and for me that I stop coming around, even though we never talk and you never see me. But I think, and Corey starts to shift and becomes their changeling self, where they're taller, and I'm assuming, hopefully, they've gotten clothes that fit them now.
I mean, you're in a dream, so if you want them, yeah.
True, yeah. Corey's hair is actually shorter now, short on the sides and still a little bedheady on top. So I just wanted to say goodbye. But I want you to know that if I can, and I squeeze my box for my cards, if I could do you a kindness, if I could wish for anything in this world, it would be to bring Kieran back to you.
That moment, you hear a door open. Hear your voice. It takes you a minute to realize, no, that's not my voice. It's Kieran's voice. I just used it. But he comes in just how you originally met him. Young, 9 years old. Crying and holding a toy in his hand that he takes up to his mother. She's like, "What's wrong?" Puts it on the table. I was running with it like you told me not to do, and then I fell and landed on it, and now it's broken. Don't worry, we can talk to your father, we can get you a new one. I don't want a new one, though. This one was special, this was mine, and a new one would just be a replacement. We fix it? And she kind of looks and turns it over a little bit. Well, I think this is going to be an important lesson for you, then. Because when it comes to certain things, speak things that mean something to us. Sometimes when things break, Kieran, they just stay broken. Have to learn to live with that. She opens her arms and takes him into a hug as he cries into her shoulder. You hear in the back of your head, Gil, sorry. But we can't. We can't always bring back those who have passed beyond a certain threshold. Friend Zelus was a rare exception in the moment. But Kieran has long found the other side.
Yeah, I hear you, Gil, but I just want to say that I tried.
Leo, you also wanted to visit at some point your sister and Triv, correct?
It would be a whole
Yes.
dinner thing, right?
Yeah, wanted to go
I was
do a
going to
whole
invite
dinner.
everybody to a dinner.
Ah.
So
Well, then if everyone was willing to go, we could say that you jumped specifically from Nicodranus that night. Leo, the party dad, basically being like, everybody in the tree, we're going on a vacation. Took you to Nicodranus, and then takes you over to Zadash the following night.
Yep.
It was a dash and forever. It's been a minute.
So, the first thing... Well, you technically have sending stones, so you'd be able to find them. Basically
How many you
asking... You could basically just do one and kind of be like, hey, where you at? What are you doing nowadays? Kind of phrase it more like you're checking in than anything else. And you get a 25-word earful from your sister that you don't message enough, that you should check in more often. But she does mention that they got a new place in the Interstead Sprawl. And you're able to track it down. So you knock on the door, your sister opens it up, seeing all of you there, and is beside herself with emotion and almost brings her to tears as she hugs you and then punches you very, very hard in sort of clusters of nerves between like your shoulder and towards like your chest. Then welcomes you all in. And you prepare a big dinner, but more surprisingly to you, maybe not, is later on when Triv gets home. She opens the door, she announces herself, starts to come in. Helena goes to meet her as all of you are sitting in, gathered in a room. And before she realizes, well, I guess I could do a roll.
Show us the thing.
I didn't like that roll. She got a natural 20, but she doesn't get it. Helena comes up to her, and Triv grabs her around the waist and gives her a kiss on the cheek as Helena's trying to be like, we have company. And Triv looks and sees
I
all
just
of you.
clap and smile.
Before you have a chance, she locks eyes with you, and she says, say something. I dare you.
Congratulations.
Was it supposed to be a secret?
What's your AC?
18.
All right. She throws a dagger at you, and it, shaves, a whisker off the side of your head as it, hits right next to your neck. And she goes, darn. Missed.
You could do better than that.
You know she did it on purpose. But yes, they explained that it was a recent thing, that they haven't always been together like you used to always joke. And that Triv isn't working for the gentleman anymore. Helena found a job teaching young children in the outer steads how to read and write. And Triv has moved on from her jobs with the gentleman and now runs local ops for the Adrian Adventurers Guild. So isn't quite in the field as much. Still takes on stuff like that occasionally, but unfortunately the injury to her eye has made her a bit less capable of certain things than she was, and she doesn't like putting other people in danger as a result of it. And your sister can sleep a bit easier knowing that Triv is working a cushy office job. Which, Rosalind, you're like, oh, I bet she hates that. And she just gives you, like, a look like, yeah, but what are you going to do?
Anything
You
else?
guys want a new job on a boat? I could get you on a boat.
Triv kind of gives, like, you know that meme where the lady's like, ah, well. And then Helena's like, no, we just settled down here and got done moving stuff, all right? The last of our things from Rex and Trim got here. No, we're not moving to a boat.
But we could use the Turtle Man and Zelus.
We can move to the Menagerie Coast in a few years when this gets boring, but no, we're staying here.
They've moved in together. Let them have some time together.
I mean,
Leo.
they always lived together. Triv was like
I know.
roommate type
I'm
deal,
making
but-
fun of them saying they weren't together.
Okay.
U-Haul lesbians.
Triv also gives you a dirty look, Maeve. That makes you think, like, she doesn't know me as well. Does that mean she's less likely to throw a knife at me?
I know.
Or she's more
Or she's
likely to
more
actually
likely.
hit me with it?
Ross knows it's the latter.
Yeah. In fact, as Maeve starts to, like, joke around, Ross is like, don't do that. But you all have a very nice dinner. Regale them with tales of your exploits. And have a good
I
time.
want to give Corey the sending stone that I bought the other day during the dinner. In the back of your head, Corey, it's like, now you have this. You don't have to bother me about the other stones, right? You have 2 now. And we can go to Pumat Soul in the morning and get you that box to send it to who's your new fling?
It's only one. But thank you. This is. And then Corey
Zana
kind of
adds, it's not a new fling, Leo. This means something to her. Plus, new fling insinuates that she had someone beforehand and she didn't.
okay, all right.
I was just trying to give her a little confidence.
No, thank you. No, thank you. This is amazing. And I kind of like grasp the box and look at Zelus and go, maybe I could go give it to her myself?
Yes, we can go to your new fling.
No, it's the same. It's the only. It's the same person.
Oh, we can go to your old fling.
No, there's
I think it's the fling.
the fling. Her name is Faye.
Zana
Yeah.
interrupts
Hey.
again and goes, well, since we've all traveled together so far, technically we could all go, and then Amu could take us back that night. We could have a spa day in Allfield again.
Yeah.
And this way
Oh,
we
that
all
sounds
get to meet
nice.
Faye.
Oh.
I would enjoy meeting Fing Flay.
We can all embarrass you.
All in favor? Zana raises her hand.
Like clockwork. Leah's just goes up.
Everyone, including Triv and Helena, both raise their hands as well.
I mean,
I mean, if you guys want to come, we could probably bring you back.
No, we have work. It's fine. So the following morning, then, do you want to let
For
Faye
all-
know that you're coming, or do you want it to be a surprise?
Oh, I think I want it to be a surprise.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Okay. So you all transport via plants to Allfield. And you want to go and get Faye by yourself, or do you want people to come with you when you do?
I think if the party lets me,
They'll let you.
I'll go approach Faye first, and but first I'll just go to the group and be like, okay guys, fit check. Do I look okay? I'm thinking a little more androgynous now, but like I don't know. Like, is it weird? Do my clothes fit now?
Zana walks forward, spits in her hand, and kind of ruffles your hair a little bit and goes, there you go.
You look like yourself. And that's what she needs to see. You don't need to be completely perfect around the edges. You just need to be you.
I got you a sending stone, not a promise ring. Like, you're okay.
Okay, I know, but like this is the first time I'm seeing her in person, and like, it's fine. I'll just go. I'm going.
You got this.
You got this.
I go over to the farm, and I have the. Is it like a ring box? What does it look like? The container that you gave me, Leo.
So it's
I would
basically,
say-
have you ever seen like when you buy like those like stress balls that you like turn in your hand, like you open them up and they're like sitting next to each other in like a little wooden box?
Oh,
It's like
okay,
that,
okay.
but these stones are kind of heart-shaped.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just walk up. Is she outside or inside? the house?
So you walk up, you see the house down this long driveway, not paved path, dirt path. You see the tree from here. You can see the little carved heart in it. That, well, technically it's the first time that you'd see it. So even with your crappy passive perception, you notice a heart carved into this tree with F and C in it. And you see that the large barn back behind. So you begin walking up, kind of looking around, not sure if you should knock on the door or kind of go back around and look like towards the farmhouse. You're kind of like looking through the windows at the same time. Oh, thank God for that 10 passive perception. And then you kind of looking through a window, and then as you go around to go to the back to look, back towards the farm or the barn, you hear, "You looking for someone, dream girl?" And you turn around to see Faye behind you, having came out of the house.
Yeah. Hi. I think Corey's very awkward because they're like not used to how tall they are now, or like at least being taller.
As you walk up to her, she goes, "You're taller than I remember."
Is that cool?
She reaches up and kind of pinches your neck. Just making sure this one isn't a dream.
Aw.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh.
And she hugs you.
Hugs back, and
How did you get here? Have you been
Well,
able to visit this whole time?
No. So I have some very cool friends who were like, "Hey, we could actually take you to her," and I was like, "Yeah." And we have a little bit of a break, so I just wanted to come see you. And I don't know what her passive perception is, but Corey's definitely fumbling with the box behind their back. So
Make
I'm sure.
a sleight of hand check at disadvantage. She's just a girl, so it's not great.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a natural one.
Oh, okay.
I'm
so,
not even gonna add.
Yeah.
not
So
even
so
a-
as you're kind of stumbling over your words and with the box, she's like, "You have something for me?"
Um, I pull it out and
Her eyes kind of light up a bit, and there's
The-
there's like this weird confusion slash excitement panic
um
going on.
this is a gift that my friend gifted to me for me to give to you, and it's not a ring.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. I just open it and show her. So these are called sending stones, and now we can just talk to each other all the time if you
She-
want.
She takes one out and like points at you to like stay there. Then she walks over and around the corner to the side of the house. This thing on? Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I can hear you.
Funny. Well, maybe not this time, but eventually a ring would be nice. How red is your face right now? And you see her
Oh yeah,
you see her peek out
yeah.
from behind the corner at you.
yeah. Yeah. So my friends are here. And I would really like for you to meet them if
I'd
you
love
have
to.
time. And then I think without saying anything, I think Corey leans in for a kiss.
She ever so slightly leans away, so you have to like really come in for it, and
You
then
have to show you're committed.
yeah, and then she leans back in and completes the kiss.
I just wanted to get that out the way because knowing my family, they're gonna be very overbearing. So
Call us your family.
Well, let's go and meet them.
all right.
So you all meet up at the Candle Glow Inn, and
Bye.
it is for you, Corey. This is an experience because this isn't like anything you've ever felt or even dreamed to have. You've probably seen from looking in on families during dinners or holidays or whatever, or in books or plays. But for the rest of the day, from basically just before lunchtime all the way up to the evening, we're all in Candle Glow Inn, just having fun, celebrating, talking. Zana seems like a different person, as she is telling stories of Fireball. Well, no, she wasn't there, but I assume somebody tells the story of Fireball Kieran, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Also, Faye is getting the 3rd degree from Roz, who is making sure this person's not going to hurt her little sister.
Things a
Uh,
little bit nicer.
she is very charming, Roz.
Good.
She kind of puts you back on like your heels a little bit and has all the good answers. Like one of those things where like you ask her an answer, and she gives you like just or a question, and she gives you just the answer to what you want. To where you're like, well, good.
All right.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, good.
unhappy about it though.
That's what you are supposed to say.
Zana tells the story about the time that Corey turned into a goldfish and Lester tried to eat her. Literally every single embarrassing thing that has ever happened to Corey gets told at this dinner. But for some reason, you don't feel any shame over it. There's no regret. Every time that they talk about you, you can see that they're doing it from a place of love, adoration, and caring. And I mean, it's up to you, Corey. How does all of this feel to you? Laughing, your family, feeling Faye squeeze your hand and lean over and rest her head on your shoulder.
I think at first it would be very much like the jitters and the, oh my god, this is happening. But I think, for the first time, I think Corey just gets lost in it and is genuinely happy and wants to enjoy every second of it. There's no doubt, there's no feeling of embarrassment, and I think whenever the dinner or the hangout starts to dwindle down into the evening, Corey squeezes Faye's hand, and I think Corey looks to the group and goes, thanks everyone. I'm gonna go walk Faye home.
Well,
How
first of all,
chivalrous of you.
I do want to mention too that throughout the day, every like 30 to 60 minutes, you're also approached. Because are you in your changeling form during all of this?
Yes.
Every 30 to 60 minutes, you're approached by village people who remember you and Balthazar when you saved the town, the Knoll attack, and they express their thanks once again, offer to buy drinks for you and your friends, and
So famous.
Nice.
this I think definitely stands out to Corey as like one of the best days she's ever had. This is what it feels like to be normal, to be loved, to be a hero. And as you're holding hands and walking out, Zana calls, "Remember to leave a foot of space for Bahamut."
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
I just say, too bad I'm godless.
Don't do anything Rosalind would do.
That's good advice.
So you walk Faye home. On the way home, so how often should I expect visits like this?
Well, I want to say, hopefully, if we're getting to a good rhythm with everything, once a month. I don't know.
I can probably deal with once a month.
I'll dream to you every night.
Oh, and we can talk nonstop with these, right?
Yeah. I really appreciate how cool you are
How cool I am?
with everything.
Corey, I'm a hick. Look where I live. You can see the town in from my driveway. You're the cool one. Look at your family. You have a lady knight from another world. You have a super hot assassin lady in your group. You have the lady with...
She's not that hot. Sorry, continue.
She's a changeling like you. She can be as hot as she wants to be. You have the lady with the evil sword. You have Zelus who can turn into animals. There's that old guy. You have
Old guy.
You have Maeve with the dragon. You have a mother of a dragon.
Oh, I get the name.
Okay. You're cool.
Yeah. I guess I am. But I just mean that, you're fine with, I don't know, me doing all this, and I have to tell you something.
Okay.
How much do you know about the Feywild?
Not a whole lot. I think maybe she points to her horns. I don't know if I was born there, if I was born on the primaterial plane, but I think I'm probably from there, maybe. And you would know that she's actually adopted. She lives with 2 human parents. I've always been happy here. I've read a few stories, but I haven't really been that interested in it. I guess this is my home.
Okay. Well, So I told you I didn't know who my parents were either.
She nods. Was that a lie?
No, I do now. I know now.
Well, that's great.
Found out. Yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it?
It is. No, it's good. It's just I just don't want you to freak out. But
Okay.
Ooh. So Titania and good old Obi.
As he likes to be called.
Yeah.
Titania's a fairy queen? I don't know who Obi is.
Braun. Sorry.
She still kind of shakes her head. Oh, Fairy King.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And they're
No.
yeah.
You're a real princess, like a real life princess?
Yeah. Or Prince. I don't know. I haven't decided on a title. I might change it. Something more. I don't know.
I was going to make a joke about how since you're a hero, one day I want you to get me a castle, but you're telling me we're actually going to live in a castle one day if we want to?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I have to find them and talk to them and tell them I'm alive and everything, but yeah.
She just hugs you. Well, I hope you find time to do that in between saving the world.
Huh. Yeah, isn't that the bitch? Just so you know, even if I wasn't this hero and I wasn't some heir to a fairy kingdom, I would be happy here with you.
She smiles. And you come up to her doorstep. She takes both your hands in hers.
We gotta get back, but
I know.
I can call you when I get there.
Not if I call you first. She leans in and gives you a kiss.
And say goodnight.
And moments after landing near Aer's recollection, you feel the vibration of the sending stone. Miss you.
Oh, God.
And now whoever bunks with Corey is going to have to put up with them talking on the sending stone until all hours of the night.
It's like high school dating all
I
over
miss
again.
you more.
Hermia, I've decided maybe it's time we start sharing a room.
Okay.
I think you two usually do, don't you?
We
No,
do.
we-
Well, it's either Ron and
Platonically
Hermia
before.
or Corey and Hermia.
Yeah. It kind of ended that way ever since when Corey was gone, and then suddenly Zana was forced in with Maeve. So.
All right. So with that, I know we have the Hermia to Vasselheim. Was there any other small ones that anyone potentially wanted to do? Oh. Why don't we do really quick, Maeve? You wanted to talk to Leo about
I
something,
did, yeah.
didn't you?
You wanted? Yeah, we'll do that now.
Let's do that.
Okay. This could potentially have been at the party, but at
Sure.
some point it could have been I think she would have done it after she saw the gift that Leo did. I think this would have been part of the inspiration. So at some point, Leo Maeve would come up to you wherever we're at, and she would say, "This is kind of a weird question. Do you have a minute?"
Yeah, but am I good for weird questions? What kind of weird question are we talking about?
Oh, this is
Alan
not.
Pyle question?
I'm sorry.
Salad pile.
No, what? No.
Okay,
no,
so
no,
it's
no.
not like that. Okay.
No, gods, no. I don't know if it's not gonna be. It's about my dad. Is that less weird? I don't know if that's less weird. Okay. Okay.
Everybody hates their parents.
Yeah, I guess. So you're not that much younger than my father, which I know probably sounds weird to say, but aging and
It makes sense.
how do I even start with this? We're gonna have to be meeting my family soon. I have already talked, I think, bits and pieces of some of the awkwardness with that, but my dad and I have always had a bit of a weird relationship, as you can probably imagine. But I've been thinking a lot about having to see him again and about how, elves live for a really, really long time compared to lots of other people. And I mean, when I came into the picture, my father had like 10 times years without me than with me. I'm not making much sense. I guess he never. I feel like I've changed a lot since, I was born, since I've been on this. And it's always just felt like my dad never did. And I guess I just wanted to know, like, is there like a point where we get to an age and we just stop changing, growing, that kind of thing?
If that was true, I would still be in Shady Creek Run, managing a group of people who do crimes and kill people, do a bunch of things. Instead, I'm now with a group of really
Babies.
seasoned adventurers at this point.
Yeah. What?
Been through a lot more than most people do in an entire lifetime, and it's only been 3 months.
That's true. What even led you to the point of meeting us, if you don't mind me asking?
So, I was in Rexentrum for a couple of years. But before then, before we got Triv and Helena out of Shady Creek Run, they were trying to sell Triv off. And me and my sister really, she helped us through a lot of things. And we couldn't see that happen. So it was actually Triv who got us out of that. It was that defining moment that we needed some sort of change. And they took off first, and I came after.
So
And then I've just been doing petty shit until I met you guys.
So it was kind of like someone else was gonna get in trouble?
It was more that I was sent off to go find Triv and bring her back, and I wasn't willing to do that. I had enough. I could escape this way. It's more selfish than anything, but it's been a positive change, and it's taken quite a few years to kind of overcome that, but you always need some sort of like defining moment to make you change. And I don't know what that'll be for your father, but I don't think that's for you to figure out for him.
Yeah, you're probably right. When my sister left, it was like he just kind of picked up where he left off with me. I think sometimes he forgot that I wasn't her, that I couldn't do what she did. Just always felt like no matter what I did, I was disappointing him. I know he had a lot on his mind. You know, my sister speaking about weird, heretical things and then running away. And what did he have left except to make his youngest into a leader? But I don't know. Part of me wonders if, I think when I left, part of me expected that he wouldn't even care or notice. And the farther away I am, the more that I'm just wishing he did. Is that
Well, it
selfish?
depends on... No, because it's what everybody wants from their parents is to be acknowledged for who they are. And that's something a lot of parents fail to do because they're always trying to live their lives that they wanted to live through their kids, and that's what it seems like it here. So that's how you felt growing up.
Guess you had something similar, didn't you?
Yeah, trying to take over the family business is always kind of... it comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of expectation, and you can't always live up to it, especially when you have different values, different ambitions.
Yeah. I mean, you had a moral imperative to leave, but I get it. I mean, it's what you're told you have to do. It's what I thought too. I just happened to leave when I did. And the pressure got too much.
I mean, you also had a guiding force changing you. The Oracle helped a lot in that regard.
That's true. Gave me a reason to leave. A purpose. I
And
guess
hell, you're still so goddamn young. You're still trying to find your purpose.
God, still remind me. I feel like even before my age of majority with my people, or we have a younger age of majority, I feel like I had to be an adult so much sooner just because of the circumstances that were happening there. And it would be nice to just kind of be young, I think. But that probably won't be happening anytime soon.
Why don't you and Zana go on like a trip to another continent? Or, hey, maybe you could go...
I suddenly can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Leo had a heart
Maybe you
attack.
can...
Oh, never mind.
No,
Okay, go
sorry. Maybe you can go visit, what's his face?
Halen?
Galen.
You forget him so easily. I'm just teasing.
There's
Yeah,
so many names and so many faces, and I'm so old.
it's
That's
okay.
not an excuse. I'm just being an asshole.
It's okay. I'm not actually that mad about it. It's kind of funny. And I was waiting for you to make jokes that there was too many people in my life, so as everyone else seems to. Yeah, maybe. Gosh, I can't even imagine what life is gonna look like when we're actually done. But, well, maybe that's this week is all about. I've been so just restless about waiting and agonizing over having to go to the Grove, and having to wait is both a blessing and a curse, I think.
Well, we'll be here every step of the way. And if you ever need to talk to people, we have a lot of people to talk to, including me.
Oh, thank you. I hope my dad figures out something like you did.
I hope so too. And I hope it's a positive change, not a negative change.
Me too. Thanks, Leo. I appreciate it.
And I'll give her a big old uncle hug.
Big ol' hug.
You can feel the cigar smoke on him.
Oh, God!
At some point during the break, is it Rosalind that suggests it to Hermia, or does Hermia ask Rosalind
Well, what?
to come to Vasselheim?
Oh, we had
Okay.
decided that a while ago. Like before we went on the break.
Well, at
We
some
decided
point,
together.
one of you decides, like, today's the day, and you go and you ask Amu if he's ever been to Isildra. He has been all over the place. So you ask him if he can take you to Vasselheim. He agrees to. So as Amu walks you through the tree, the warmth of the Menagerie Coast is quickly replaced by a biting autumn chill. You emerge out the other side sometime after dusk, but the sky is blocked out by massive boughs dotted with lanterns. A nearby couple jump and give you a bit of an awkward stare as they quickly then hurry on. You come to find out that you have found yourself in a place called the Abundant Terrace, a district in Vasselheim dedicated to the worship of Melora. After asking around a bit, you're directed to the Dusk Meadow, the area of the city that celebrates the matron of ravens and all that fall under her domain. It takes you some time to walk there, as the Dusk Meadow is on the opposite side of the city, but you take in the sights as you walk. Passing through the quad roads, which reminds you, Raz, most of home. Then into the Braving Grounds, where you begin to recognize the iconography of Cord, the Stormlord. And your heart starts to flutter a little bit, Roslyn, as you see a number of fight pits, clubs, taverns, pubs, warriors of all forms training.
Hermia, this is my new favorite city.
But eventually you come to the Dusk Meadow, a Gothic-esque scene that seems to be in full celebration of the Matron of Ravens. A stark comparison to most locations of the Raven Queen that you've seen. Usually society treats her with an equal measure of fear and respect. But just like death isn't someone anyone wants to stare down or spend too much time thinking about, here it seems she's recognized as the next step. A journey that comes after your life on the Primaterial Plane has reached its conclusion. It's simply the next door and not something to be feared. You spot the Raven's Crest Temple easily once within the district as its towers stand tall and stark against the snow-white mountains of Isilra. The entrance is through two large 8 by 12-foot glass doors at the top of a flight of stairs. As you draw closer, the glass is opaque. And as you approach to grasp the handles, they creak and slowly begin to open before you can even touch them. On the other side, you see two female forms in black garb and a white veil that obscures their face. They both nod and gesture for you to enter. These are priests of the order here known as the Trust of Winter. As you walk in and the doors close once again behind you, you see that they're transparent looking out. There's also a noticeable drop in the temperature here. Footfalls echo long and far down the halls as you walk. The lights are kept low. The material of this hall eventually gives way and changes to a dark gray and ivory. It feels as though it was carved from unmelting ice and giant's bones. You see only the third soul since entering, waiting here in a doorway to another chamber. Welcome, child of the Fae. She greets you with her voice carrying high. And to you, the daughter of change. She bows to you, Rosalind.
Roz bows politely.
She turns and begins to walk further in, expecting you to follow. As she takes you to the next chamber, you ascend with her some 40 feet up another staircase and through a dark oak door with a large iron ring on it. As she pulls it open, you pass through into a room with a 100-foot-high steepled dome roof. The roof is made of multicolored stained glass, and in the center of this chamber, you see what is quite noticeably a massive pool filled with a crimson liquid. You let out a breath in surprise, which turns to cold mist as soon as it leaves your lips. We've been expecting you for some time. She looks at you, Hermie. But let me tell you now that the answers you seek are not the ones that we have. You can only get them from the matron herself, but you should prepare yourself. But what you seek to know are not the lessons you believe you need.
What was that last part? You kind of cut out a little bit.
She said, what you seek to know are not the lessons you believe you need.
Well,
Figures.
came this far, so I guess there's no turning back now.
She nods. With one arm, gestures towards the pool before you.
Is that blood?
You don't need her to nod to confirm your question.
Oh, Hermia looks at Rod's concern. Okay.
It's a little bit of blood. Just a pool of blood.
Yeah, Roz is definitely thinking back to like moments talking to Uncle Levix and like, this actually seems about right.
Okay. Hermia kind of just shrugs. She takes off her displacer cloak and hands it to Roz.
And Roz will hold it.
She kind of just shrugs. I guess we're going in the pool. Okay.
Gross.
Roz
As-
silently says a prayer to Avandra, thanking her for never making her go into a blood pool.
So as you step into it, it's a pretty steep drop off to begin with. You maybe expect there to be some stairs, but you fall down to almost waist deep pretty quickly. You can feel the bold shape of this goes down steep, fast. How deep, you're not sure. What do you do?
I guess Hermia just keeps going deeper. She I don't know, hold her breath and just you're like, I'll just keep going deeper until something happens.
All right. Go deeper,
Have you seen Vox Machina?
deeper, and it goes up to your chest, then your chin. Take a breath and submerge yourself down, viscous red liquid. Closing your eyes, it all goes black as you begin to fall. Deeper. Deeper. You do.
I don't know if it's
Sorry,
just me,
I
but
might just I
cutting
sometimes
off,
get low in like moments like these, so I just have to remember to
Yeah.
keep speaking up. So in this moment, what do you
That's an
do?
issue.
Did he just cut out again? Or is that
No.
me?
What
I
do-
heard him that time.
I
yeah.
heard him.
In this moment, what do you do? I've turned my noise gate all the way off, just in case that's affecting it.
Okay. So
You are now
I mean-
submerged in this liquid, holding your breath.
I guess she'll just be in her head, okay, I'm here now in this creepy pool. I brought your sword. He says has too many souls inside. So I guess if you could help him out, because he does not like being full of souls. And then she'll just kind of just float there and hold her breath for as long as she can.
No one answers, and your lungs are starting to burn. As you tread in the middle of this pool of crimson liquid.
I guess she's just gonna keep holding her breath even if it starts to hurt and just okay, well, whatever happens happens, I guess. I mean, there's clerics here, so they won't let me drown, right? It'll be fine.
As you tell yourself that, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You think, maybe I should ask what I'm supposed to be doing in here. And you start to kick your way back up. You should have broke the surface by now, but you haven't. You aren't sure which way is up. You're not sure where the walls or the bottom of this pool is. Make a Constitution saving throw, Hermia.
I hate this
As
so much.
you struggle to keep the
Constitution
air in your
saving
lungs.
throw.
It's only blood.
Screw it. We'll give it a go. 15.
15.
What is it?
You're able to keep your mouth shut as your whole body begins to ache and burn. Do you ask her how long this is supposed to take, Rosalind?
Yeah, she's like, eventually she's like, how long does this take? I don't know how long she can breathe.
It takes as long as it takes, but in order to meet with the matron of ravens, she must be willing to pass into her domain. That liminal space between life and death. Make another Constitution saving throw, Hermia, this time at disadvantage.
I don't even need to roll it because I'm pretty sure I failed it. That's only like a 6.
As you struggle and you begin to panic, thinking, oh, this was a mistake, this was a mistake, this was a mistake, you try to call out to Roz using your connection, but there is no response. And you struggle as long as you can until your hands come up to your mouth to try to keep what little air is left in you from escaping. As the blood begins to rush in, you taste the iron of it. It begins to flood into your nasal passage and you inhale it.
I mean, it's like, it's not blood. It's syrup. Yeah.
Tomato juice. I love V8.
When the pain and the panic of drowning begins to pass, Hermia, you suddenly return to a familiar place of darkness. You find yourself standing now. Not a drop of blood on you. As you look around, you can see yourself clear as day, but where you are is nothing but darkness as far as you can see. You can't even tell where the horizon is. As you take a few steps, you see a rippling underneath you, as though you're standing in an inch or so of liquid. You hear a whisper. What do you want?
Delivery for you? I got some souls, I guess.
What do you want?
What do I want? I don't know. Is this a trick question?
Why are you here?
Because of Fomir?
Why are you here?
I feel like this is a test and I'm just failing. I don't know. I mean, I felt like I should. Like I came across Volmir and we have this like bond now, and he needed to go to Vasselheim to figure out what was wrong with him. And so like, it's like, okay, Vasselheim, and then I keep seeing weird things about people taking away like people's like right to like live how they want to and make their own choices, to live and die how they want to, and other people like just distorting the meaning of life and death. And I was like, that's not cool. Like, it's not right. I want to do what I can to stop things like that from happening. Is that a good answer?
And then?
And then I don't know. I feel like I'll have like a purpose, a reason for being.
Hermia Astoria. This whisper now is almost booming in your ear. What do you want?
I want my life to mean something. My existence to mean something.
For the first time, Hermia, since you've been here, you realize that Foamir is not with you. You don't sense that connection to him.
Wait, where's is Fulmir? I try to I guess summon him, even though I can't feel him.
What have you been traveling for?
I mean, I was looking for my brother, but if I'm being completely honest, I've been running away from a life that my parents just decided I was meant to be. I didn't want to be someone without any autonomy or any say in what they want to do or who they want to be. I was tired of fitting in to this small box that everyone expected me to fit into. Honestly, I've just been running all this time and helping my friends.
There is suddenly a blinding flash before you as the darkness is lit up by a monolith of perfect white porcelain that appears before you. It seems to stretch as far as you can see to the right, to the left, and as you look up at it, you can see the visage of the Matron of Raven on it, glaring down at you. You wish to stop running?
Yeah?
This is a path few choose to walk. The divine prophecy chose you, but that is not enough to become one of the wings of the raven. To walk the path aside the living, you will be asked to forsake much. Have you the strength to walk such a path? One often barren, scarred, cold, and miserable? You see a reflection in the mask now. You see a man and wife, a small wolf pup by their side. The wife eventually fades away, the pup grown, becomes but a shadow next to the man who's now alone. You see two children, twins, grow up through hardship, join a group of 5 others, and you see the sister fall. The brother rises with raven wings, and one by one as he rises, the others all fade away. Champions of mine do not get happy endings. You must choose this, and in doing so, you recognize that your life is no longer your own, but it will be spent ensuring that others have a chance at endings they may not have a chance to choose.
In the end, none of us really get to decide how we end. It's just the end that happens, whether or not we want it to. No matter how much some may deny it, our souls are mortal. We're here, and then they're gone, like the passing of seasons. There's someone very close to me who is going to die. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's something that I never really had to consider before, being in a city full of elves that just seem to age like forever. But despite what some in my city of Venentia think, even elves eventually wither and die and turn to dust. If my life can have meaning, if I have like a purpose, I mean,
Then show me you have the strength to choose. And you see through the mask, like a window, you see Foamir embedded in the ground. And as you reach your hand forward, it passes through the mask as though it's just an illusion. Do you approach Foamir?
yeah.
As you walk towards it, standing before it, do you reach out to grasp it?
Yeah.
As your hand gets close to it, you hear, Hermia? Your brother's voice echoes through the darkness. Looking over your shoulder, you see Leander.
Lee?
50 yards away from you, wandering around. Hermia, is that you?
Lee, what are you doing here?
I can't hear you. Where are you? Hermia, do you
will-
approach your brother or do you grasp Foamir? You hear the Raven Queen's voice again. Make your choice, Hermia Astoria.
Hermia, thinks back to, when things got all freaky in the woods and how, like, you know, she heard and like saw things that weren't really there.
Mm-hmm.
So she considers this.
I will tell you, that feeling, that connection that you have to your brother, you feel it.
Is he dead?
That you don't know, but he's here.
Hermia's gonna talk to him. She's not gonna get close, like move from her spot, but she's gonna talk to him like he can hear her, even though he obviously can't.
Okay.
Lee, I hope one day this makes sense to you. But if I'm being honest, I think you've always known that even though we really tried our hardest to always be together, we were never meant to walk the same path. You left without saying goodbye that day, and I was so mad and upset at you. But I get it. Sometimes it just hurts too much to say that part out loud. That where I'm going, you can't follow. And where you're going, I can't follow after you. We have to make our own paths, and if destiny or chance or luck is on our side, maybe our paths will cross someday. But I can't continue leading a life where my whole existence is just following after you. I have to make my own choices, find my own path, my own reason for being, and it just can't always be to be with you. You can't live your life meaningfully if it's just tied to somebody else's existence. If you're always just seeing your life as through someone else's eyes, you have to see it with your own. So, goodbye for now. I think we'll meet again. And Hermia will turn back towards Folomir and walk up and attempt to pull him out.
And as you grasp the hilt and pull it free, Rosalind, you see the familiar sign of the black blade pierce from the center of the pool out. You see Hermia's hand covered in blood, and a torrent of energy, souls, begins to release out of Foamir and starts to swirl around the room up into that dome above. And Hermia begins to emerge, standing up in the center as though the entire pool is only a foot deep, completely drenched in this crimson liquid. And Hermia, as you walk back towards Rosalind and look down at your sword, it now glistens like a bright mirror. And you watch as each of these souls, one after the other, goes down into the pool, except for one. That begins to swirl down over towards you and begins to rotate around the sword. The Trust of Winter explains that his place is with the others on the other side, but it seems to have a strong attachment to you here, Hermia. And you must choose to send it on or keep it here with you. But understand that the longer it stays here, the harder it'll be to make that journey later.
Is it my brother?
As you ask that to yourself, you're looking into Foamir, and you can see a reflection. You see yourself, except with icy blue eyes, frosted skin, and white hair. And you hear Leander's voice. Oh, I understand now. Hey, Hermes.
Lee?
Look at me, always trying to protect you. You aren't that little girl anymore. And I think I did you a disservice all those years as your brother. I just wanted to protect you. But once I was gone, you thrived. I don't know if this is what you want, but you've been spending so long looking for me. I think you need to stop. You have a different calling now. Hermia, you have the choice. You can send him along with the other souls, or you can keep him by your side in Foamir for as long as you're a champion of the Raven Queen. But you do understand now that all this time you've had your brother right next to you, fighting with you every step of the way. But it was you who was doing the fighting, not him.
So, was he Foamir?
Yes, he was.
Oh. Well, no one ever wants to say goodbye, do they? And I know you as Fomir in your grumpy ass voice would be like, Hermia, you don't need me. You have your friends, and you have your own inner strength. You can stand on your own now. It's always been you.
He smiles.
You're right. I can't. No matter what happens, I'm going to have to say goodbye, whether it be today or tomorrow. We always think, if I only had more time, if I only had more time. But the decision and the feelings that are with it are never any easier. And I'd rather have the chance to say goodbye to you now, as you are the way I remember you to be. But I know in my heart, a piece of you will always be with me, and this isn't the last time we'll see each other. Whether this life or the next, I'll see you again, brother.
I love
Winter
you, sister.
always comes again,
I love
as
you.
does summer. I love you too, Lee.
And with that, you see his reflection in the sword vanish. And you watch as that soul descends into the pool. And in that moment, Foamir has exalted to its final stage.
Rumia just kind of looks at the sword and just kind of dismisses it and just fast walks over to Roz and hugs her.
Roz pulls her into her arms and just holds her tightly.
And as the two of you embrace in this chamber of the matron of the ravens,
Never gonna get this blood off.
I'm always going to be tasting and smelling it for the rest
Nah.
of my life.
and that's
Somehow, even in all of it, they laugh a little at that.
And that is where we will go ahead and wrap up tonight's session.